Martinez, and this is water scarcity in the Colorado River Basin. To look into our environmental system description, the issue of water scarcity can be put in any place of the world. For people like me who live in Arizona, our water scarcity revolves around the Colorado River Basin. Some key environmental characteristics is the arid climate the Colorado River follows. It is usually semi-arid, receives little rainfall, and is known to divert into multiple river stems for multiple states. The issue is environmentally paramount for people of the Southwest, as 40 million people rely on fresh drinking water from the river. In addition, the damage to the Colorado River hurts natural environment and species reliant to it. To connect the Colorado River to our environmental spheres, the Colorado River Basin is connected to our atmosphere through rising global temperatures, shifting weather patterns, and natural water cycles. This reduces precipitation and evaporation rates because increased climates disrupt natural water cycles that are important for refilling water reservoirs or the river itself. With the hydrosphere, perhaps the most direct, the Colorado River Basin is heavily involved with connected to multiple bodies of water like Lake Mead and Lake Powell. The lakes have dropped 20% over the last century and ultimately affecting the Colorado River. Within our lithosphere, the Colorado River Basin is directly connected to the lithosphere through groundwater. The dependency of groundwater, since there is less surface water, causes land subsidence, or, in other words, land sinking. This can cause damaging effect to river flow and mineral position, as the river is now oddly shaped and not really compacted. Biosphere. Although we rely on the river for water, the Colorado River is home to many native fish and a vital resource to wildlife. Ultimately, human intervention of the Colorado River causes a competition between human needs and survival of the ecosystem, because we are focused on extracting and relocating resources instead of protecting our environment. The first challenge when approaching the Colorado River Basin is the biodiversity loss. The declining levels of water and the rise of drying environments mean that the destruction of habitats for natural wildlife. In addition to wildlife, water quality and increased concentration of pollutants and salts can cause water to be toxic for both aquatic life and soil. Human contributions include our overharvesting in agriculture, urban expansion, and increased water consumption that have over time depleted natural water resources. Over here is a comparison of Horseshoe Bend, as it shows before and after. On the right, it obviously shows less biodiversity and less vegetation across the river. The second challenge is ecosystem disruption. We are currently using more water faster than nature can replenish it. This causes a deficit that had led to the disruption of the Colorado River deltas, as well as the water levels in natural water reservoirs. We have taken advantage of the resource allocation of the Colorado River, and over time, causing it to lose its natural processes that keeps it sustained. An instance is the Glen Canyon Dam. In Page, Arizona, dams like these disrupt natural environmental cycles and even get in the way of wildlife. The third challenge is water security. The Colorado River Basin has been facilitating water for multiple states and millions of people, but its over-reliance poses a threat to those affected. The water imbalance that we have caused by exceeding our demand has caused depletion of the two largest reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Ironically, the improper use of water for humans is the exact cause to the effect of human water scarcity. Expanding agriculture and our cities will only damage water resources and increase water dependency for natural reservoirs. On the right, it shows the driest part of Lake Mead and someone walking through it. The environmental impact analysis, we are going to look into the comparison to the singular challenges and how water scarcity affects the environment as a whole. In the Colorado River Basin, we have attributed to multiple environmental impacts due to our urban expansion, agricultural abuse, and reallocation of resources. The damming of natural resources have damaged and disrupted the natural biodiversity and ecosystem. Thus, the decline of water levels and increase of climate change have directly affected any aquatic life while also disrupting natural precipitation and evaporation rates along the river. In addition, the Colorado River water that the people of the Southwest rely on can become contaminated and dangerous to us and animals. Finally, the damaging of our water cycles have forced reliance on groundwater. This can cause the river to sink and change shape as previously mentioned, which can ultimately increase salinity levels and decrease soil quality. For justice considerations, due to the Colorado River Basin facing the water crisis, nearly 40 million people face their only source of water as it depletes. Of these 40 million people, some belong to tribal nations such as the Navajo in the Southwest. However, this community faces lack of federal funding for infrastructure and access to water like roads and transportation. In addition, specific groups of people like low-income families and communities by the river heavily rely on natural water source of the Colorado River. In fact, the frontline communities directly depend on the land and water of the river, while low-income families need access to cheaper water as scarcity continues to rise. On the right, it shows a federally recognized tribal lands of the Colorado River Basin. Orange is supposed to represent tribal water and land. Our environmental solutions. What solutions can we look to fix the problems within our Colorado River Basin? Well, the first solution is rehandling the entire compact. In 1922, the Colorado River Compact was signed, and it was created to reflect modern hydrology. This agreement allocated water based on wet years and did not take into account the future environmental damage that has happened. This legal step can be easily defended and advocated for by the people of the Southwest. Prioritizing proportional reductions across the basin will rehabilitate natural reservoirs while also returning nature's sustainability, since it would be restoring natural water cycles. The second solution is investing into more advanced water systems. Advanced water systems have slowly begun to show up across the world, and in order to combat unhealthy practices we currently use. In the Southwest, few states but California holds potable reuse facilities to allow cities to reuse water. Most states currently discharge their water, which is ultimately mishandling it. By investing in advanced water systems like closed water systems, states can begin changing into more environmental friendly practices. Recycling water can lower our dependency on water directly from the basin or the river and ultimately help restore natural cycles and environments. Continued, the third solution would be modernizing our agricultural practices. Agriculture is widely known to take much of the world's fresh water in order to mass cultivate. In the case of the Colorado River, agriculture actually uses an estimated 80% of the Colorado River's flow. This agricultural practice involves flood irrigation that could disproportionately use water. Switching to alternate irrigation systems like advanced drop or micro sprinklers can save an abundant amount of water while also preserving our food security. Providing farmers with these solutions will ultimately help more water stay within the river while minimizing soil erosion. On the right, it shows a California aqueduct, which is used to proportionally spread water across these crops. Course connections. How can we connect the Colorado River problem to past understandings? Well, with the first concept, resource consumption, in Module 4, the concept of consumerism and its environmental impact was introduced. It is essentially the culture of buying more things for the sake of our happiness and the economy. It includes a wide range of products that are and services that are transported across the world. Within the Colorado River basin, however, resource consumption connects through agricultural land use and practices. The overconsumption of food and resources from this land forces farmers to use even more water from the river itself, thus causing environmental disruptions and habitat loss. The second concept revolves around the population growth. In Module 3, the scientific concept of human population was introduced. This refers to how human population growth can reflect an increased demand for resources like water, energy, and land. In the case of the Colorado River Basin, the increased migration and expansion of the Southwest over the past 30 years have caused more people to demand further resources from the basin. And the third final concept is climate feedback. In Module 1, the scientific concept of climate feedback was introduced. Climate feedback are responses that trigger from initial change in the climate. It can cause a domino effect of environmental problems while also identifying or weakening environmental factors. In connection to the Colorado River Basin, climate change increases the melting and evaporation rates on mountains. The snow that is melting creates an albedo effect that causes the soil to absorb more heat, which further dries out the basin while reducing runoff. Overall, the reflection that I've learned and the course this course has informed me and educated me more about multiple factors of our environment. The course has actually taught me to stay aware of environmental issues, but also emphasizing the damages in our climate. The current speed of how global temperatures are rising can alter weather patterns while creating a cascading effect of negative environmental factors, like water scarcity or flooding. Thus, the need of our environment changed the way I advocate for it. I have more actions in order to spread environmental awareness, while also spreading awareness to my local community and solutions that could help with our current problems. As in Arizona is stepping into a water scarcity problem, and it is incredibly important to be involved within our communities and to be making steps to change the way we live for the better of our environment. The end.